There is a substantial story to our ancient past which wasn't originally told to us. Voyage with me to a desolate island in the Pacific Ocean which entails one of the greatest mysteries that we have ever explored. A place where giant monoliths of stone people that once were our ancestors stand frozen in time. During a time of megalithic stone structures being built, Easter Island was left with a distinct feature that gave personality to the ancients that built these monoliths. These entities stand up to 13 feet tall and weighing up to 14 tons. For something so large, they're still shrouded in mystery from the true history of our distant past. Who is the true face of the artist that constructs such a marvel but yet leaves no recognition to themselves? To be built in a position to stare at star constellations and the Sirius star to document the equinoxes, a cold stare, gazing deeply into space to our past, or warning us of our future. Ages ago, Easter Island's dormant volcano was awakened by a devastating cataclysmic event. The volcano and constant earthquakes ripped apart the land. Giant landslides of dirt filled the island, which covered the Moai. What remains of the volcano is what you see here: peace, balance, calmness. A far echo of the terrible destruction that occurred. Isla de Pascua, Rapa Nui, or Easter Island, has a very dark history of human settlement since the arrival of the European settlers in 1722. Having brought rats to the island, it decimated the ecosystem. It lowered the population of natives on the small island from 15,000 to 2,000. During this time, it was the dark ages of the people of Rapa Nui. Since food became so scarce, warriors became the predominant figure or leaders. The end of the age of the priests ended and total chaos ensued. Tribal feuds and even cannibalism occurred in some tribes. What you see here is the destruction from all the warring tribes pushing the statues over. It was said that the statues represented the tribe's chieftains and gods. Mainstream archaeologists say that the height of Rapa Nui civilization was from 800 to 1200 Common Era. The flaw in this logic is that all natives on the island had very primitive copper tools. How could a civilization build so many precise monuments such as the Moai and the Rapa Nui site? What most archaeologists or mainstream media look at are the types of examples that you see here. A small statue, crudely made from basalt with very rough stonework. It's easy to say from this perspective that any human located anywhere could create this. But what about the Rapa Nui statues? The Moai that weigh 14 tons? How did they move those? You're telling me the pivot and rope maneuver with logs moved these giant megaliths? The examples shown on how they're moved today are tested at only a fraction of the weight of what it really weighs. What is there to hide to say that nobody quite knows how it was done in the past? Time is an enemy to all, but a story to others. The story of these Moai are a mystery, but yet they still remain from the detriment of time. All lined up in a row, facing and anticipating the Sirius star alignment, awaiting the next equinox. With one distinct feature standing out being the red headpiece that they have, a very odd piece of personality that was passed down from our ancestors, or from the original creators. There is an ancient world connection between certain symbolism that our ancestors' gods possessed in the past. On Easter Island, it shows the same hand position from one of the pillars in Göbekli Tepe and its artifacts found in the surrounding areas in modern-day Turkey. All of these quarries had their megaliths extracted directly from the rock and brought to the position where they may still stand today. These photographs are ancient quarries where the Moai were constructed. You can see them unfinished from the ground, multiple incompleted megaliths as if it was stopped abruptly. It almost sounds absurd for primitive humans with copper tools to construct and move such sophisticated megalithic structures and place them in their precise positions. What was the initial process behind creating these structures quickly? It definitely was not traditional methods of copper tools smashing at a rock. These moai were being created quickly using similar methods to the ancient Peruvian and Egyptian stone builders. These creators share so many similarities between the ancient megalithic past. This section of a wall that still remains is the same type of stonework from Machu Picchu, Sacsayhuaman, ancient Egypt, and more. The Moai creators left behind their megalithic stone humanoids facing towards the heavens in a glaze. Most of them pointed towards star constellations, equinoxes, and certain cardinal directions, all staring at the sky, telling us a message from the past. A message that is still yet to be deciphered. From the far distant past, a warning from our ancestors caused by the Younger Dryas Impact Cataclysm. For us to seek the events from our ancient history so we don't make the same mistakes today.